So shortly after I turned 21, I believe this is 2004, I woke up suddenly with pretty bad stomach pains in the middle of the night. Went to the hospital and was hospitalized for 4 or 5 days. All the pain medication and all that stuff, and did a bunch of testing. They couldn't figure out what it was, and after like the really sharp acute pain subsided, I was discharged with this sort of chronic pain and a script for Vicodin and instructions to follow up with my gastroenterologist. I did that, another series of tests, kind of everything they could throw at me. That was inconclusive, but the whole time I was, just on the script for Vicodin. Fast forward a few months, and gastroenterologists didn't really know what was going on, so they suggested I see a physiatrist, a pain doctor. And again, this was 2004. So at my first appointment with this physiatrist, he's like, well, there's some things we can do. There's some treatments and tests, but in the meantime, here's a script for something a little bit more powerful to help control your pain. And that turned out to be fentanyl. So I left that appointment, with both the lollipops, the immediate release fentanyl, and the patches. And back then, I didn't really know what that was. The opiate crisis that was sort of starting, or starting up, and I didn't really know how strong that was. Of course, everybody now is familiar with that drug. It says on the box, which I didn't pay attention to because I had very much faith in the medical world and my doctors. My history was I had pretty bad asthma growing up, so I had always been around doctors and nurses and hospitals, and it had always been, sort of more of like a emergent situation. If you can't breathe, you go to the hospital, they make you better. You go to the doctor, they give you drugs, they make you better. So I had total faith, and I never really paid attention to the inserts that say essentially, for end stage cancer pain for this fentanyl.
Wow.
So and it's the immediate release is pretty insidious. It's called Actique, and it's like a little lollipop that tastes like the little stick in Lickamade. If you've ever had those, a little white sugary stick. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually pretty delicious, but that's part of what makes it, I think, insidious, at
Yeah.
least at that time. I mean, there's certainly a time and a place for pain medication, and I don't want to ever take that away from people that truly need it. But in retrospect, after all this, I was not one of those people. And then in 2009, at the beginning or late 2008, I was diagnosed with an acoustic neuroma, which is a base of skull non-cancerous tumor. So that had a pretty major surgery at the beginning of 2009 to get that out. So by then, it had been, 5 years of pretty constant, just, medicated stupor. I had for the last few years been pretty reclusive, just spending time in my room or in bed or going to doctor's appointments, and that was it, no social life, no interactions, and was pretty hopeless. And then in the fall of 2009, my dad actually came to me and he said, medical cannabis is a thing now, and maybe you should go and try that. So I went and got my medical card, and in September, and tried it for the first time right around 2000, December 2009, beginning of December 2009. I had ingested cannabis in high school, had a good time, and then sort of after that, I had only had a few experiences, and they had been, especially leading up to this, had been, kind of negative experiences. So I was hesitant to try cannabis, which is why I got my card in September. I didn't try it till, beginning of December. I kind of had, felt like I had nothing to lose, and, any negative experiences I might have would have been, maybe would be outweighed by the positive experiences. And I went to a dispensary. I got free clones with purchase, and came home with a few different cultivars to try. And I smoked, and to my surprise, it helped with the pain a bunch, but it also kind of helped, give me some mental space to exist in, which that I wasn't in pain, and I also wasn't, focused on and thinking about pain.